everyone, welcome back to Matin's kitchen. Today we're making something extra special. As some of you may already know from my previous video, I'm currently 16 weeks pregnant. After navigating through up and down of the first trimester, I'm excited to have already entered the second trimester. And you know what that means? Cravings for sweets are finally back after a few months. I wanted to make something special to celebrate this milestone, and I couldn't think of a better way than sharing it with all of you guys. So today, we're making delicate layers of puff pastry, baked to golden perfection, filled with velvety pastry cream. Each bite promises a harmonious symphony of texture, from the crispiness of the puff pastry to the silky smoothness of the cream. I don't know about you guys, but I cannot wait any longer. Let's dive in.
Begin by adding the salt and cold cubed butter to the flour. Use your hands to mix them together, ensuring that the butter is coated with flour. Then gently press some of the butter pieces with your fingers while mixing them together. It's crucial to keep the butter pieces visible in the dough, so avoid trying to achieve a smooth dough texture. Add water and mix it with a spatula until the flour absorbs all the water. Then switch to a scraper and use it to bring the dough together. Now using your hands, shape the dough into a ball. It's important not to knead the dough. We want to preserve the visible pieces of butter. The dough may appear slightly rough and not fully cohesive, but that's completely normal. As we proceed with rolling and folding, it will come together. Sprinkle a generous amount of flour on your work surface and place the dough on it. Now sprinkle more flour on top to prevent the butter from melting. It's crucial to work quickly at this stage. Shape the dough into a rectangle and then roll it out. The exact measurements are not important at this point. Just shape it into a rectangle and fold it like a letter. Scrape the excess flour from your work surface and wrap the dough in plastic wrap. Transfer it to the freezer and let it chill for 30 minutes. After half an hour, we'll repeat the rolling and folding process from the previous step. As I show you this step, I would like to mention that the dough is much easier to handle now. The butter chunk in the dough have chilled and firmed up after the initial mixing and rolling. This is why it's crucial to work quickly during the first rolling and folding step to prevent the butter from softening. Keep the butter cold is actually the key to success in this recipe. If you're making this recipe during a very hot summer, I recommend transferring the dough to the freezer for a few minutes whenever you feel the butter is starting to soften. Roll the dough out and fold it like a letter. Then wrap it in plastic wrap and freeze for 30 minutes. Now we'll perform the rolling and folding process for the third time, exactly as in the previous steps. You might notice that we're using less flour than before, as the butter is getting harder and the dough is easier to work with. Despite using less flour, the dough may still not look very neat or smooth at this stage. This is totally normal. As we approach the final steps, the dough will become smoother and more cohesive. Simply repeat the rolling and folding, then transfer the dough to the freezer for another 30 minutes. Finally, we have reached the final rolling and folding process. As a chef, I've learned that it's crucial to see every detail for a better understanding. Whether you're a professional chef or a passionate home baker, it's important to follow each step carefully and know what to expect at each stage. That's why I haven't skipped any part of these steps. Another reason I have chosen to show all these steps, even if they are repetitive, is to demonstrate the consistency and precision required in baking. By witnessing each stage of the process in real time, you can better appreciate the careful attention to detail needed to achieve the perfect result. It's a testament to the craftsmanship and dedication that goes into every baked creation. For this final folding, we're going to trim both ends before proceeding. Transfer it to the freezer for 20 minutes. In the meantime, we'll prepare the pastry cream for the filling. Add milk into a saucepan along with vanilla seeds. Place it over medium-low heat and bring it to a boil. In the meantime, mix eggs along with sugar, cornstarch, and flour in a bowl. Don't worry if you see lumps of cornstarch in the mixture, as we will sip it at the end. Add 1/3 of the boiling hot milk into the mixture and mix it with a whisk. This process is called tempering because we are gradually raising the temperature of the eggs by adding hot milk. This prevents the egg from curdling or cooking too quickly when they come into contact with the hot liquid. Add another third of the milk while continuing to whisk. Then pour the mixture back into the saucepan and place it over low heat while constantly mixing. It will take about 5 to 7 minutes for the cream to thicken. Once it's thickened, continue cooking for a minute and it's done. Immediately pour it into a sieve to get rid of any lumps and achieve a smooth pastry cream. Add butter and mix it with a whisk. Cover the surface with plastic wrap and let it cool. Now the dough is ready to be cut and baked. Roll out the dough to 23 to 38 cm and cut out 6 rings with an 11 cm diameter. Place them on a baking tray lined with parchment paper. Use a ring with a 9 cm diameter and cut in the center of each dough. Do not cut all the way through. Just apply a bit of pressure to cut through maybe just the first 2 layers. Brush them with egg wash and transfer the tray to the fridge for half an hour. I'm just quickly going to show you how to use this leftover dough. Stack them on top of each other, sprinkle some flour and do rolling and folding. Transfer it to the freezer for 10 minutes. Repeat this step once more and then cut the dough with the rings like the others. Finally, the moment has arrived. After 30 minutes, transfer the tray into the preheated oven at 190 Celsius for 35 minutes. And there you have it. Our perfect puff pastry dough have been beautifully baked. Take a sharp knife and cut around the indentation on the top. Go slowly to avoid cutting through the edges. Using a piping bag, carefully add a small amount of pastry cream to the bottom of each pastry cup. Place the top of each pastry cup upside down onto its base, so the crispy part is facing down onto the pastry cream. And then pipe more pastry cream on top of each pastry. Finally, top them with a mixture of blueberries and raspberries. Sprinkle some powdered sugar over the top. And here you have the irresistible pastry delights ready to enjoy. I invite you all to savor the delightful sound of crispiness as you bite into this perfect dessert crafted entirely from scratch.